Are we going?
Yeah.
Okay, good morning. This is Judy and Evan, and we're here today because we want to talk to you about this gift that we got from Pastor Michelle called Lent in a Bag. And if you haven't gotten your Lent in a bag, you can call Michelle or you can email the church and get a Lent in the bag. So we're going to tell you a little bit about what's in the bag today. And here's Evan with number 1.
Am I supposed to read this?
Yeah, or I can, and you can show them that.
You should not.
Okay, this is one of the things in the bag, and Evan's going to tell you about it.
So this is Santa. It says, just between Jesus' baptism and the beginning of his adult misery, Jesus went into the wilderness for 40 days to be tested.
It was his adult ministry. That's when he started teaching people instead of misery, but there was some misery too. Okay, go ahead.
What constitutes the wilderness in your life? What have you learned there? What might you learn there?
Boy, we've had some wilderness in this last week, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've been without electricity. At least we had water. But to do everything in the dark was very
There was
good.
not too much dark because we had the windows and then.
But then our bathroom didn't have any windows. So
Right.
it was take a shower that was cold, and we didn't want to do that.
I
in
didn't
the
take
dark.
a shower.
I couldn't either.
My dad
I had to
did.
wait. Yeah. Okay, the next thing is a candle, and your candle has a little switch on it so that you can turn it on. Let me turn it on. Oh, goodness.
I can.
There you go. I'm going to let Evan hold it and show you how it's turned on. And you might know the little song about the light under the bushel, hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine because you've got a little light. Lent begins in the dimness of late winter and ends with a burst of bright spring. Jesus, he is the burst of light spring. According to John's Gospel, he's the light of the world. That's why there's a little light there. And the light insists, you are the light of the world. So don't be hiding under some bushel basket. So where do you shine and how do you keep your light lit? So we keep our light lit by the blessings that we can remember, don't we? And don't hide your light under a bushel. Share your joy and your light with everybody.
Well, it's more shiny under here.
Yeah, because we've got some light with us.
Because when it's dark, it shines more bright. There's no light to compete with it.
This is another thing that was in our bag, and Evan's going to read to you about this. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, most people should. It's a rock.
It's a rock. Okay.
While in the wilderness, Jesus was invited to transform the stone into bread. Though he resisted the temptation there and then, being justly renewed for feeding people who were hungry for food or love, or for a word of encouragement, or for a simple acceptance. Might there be a stony place in you that needs transforming, some attitude or habit that with a little attention might even become a gift for you and others?
Yes. So even though things may get rough, there are some things that we can do to make them better. And that's what the rock in our Lenten bag is to remind us about. Thank you, Evan. Okay, the next thing is, you going to hold this up for me? What is that?
It's a human figure.
Okay, because Jesus was a human figure. As we confess fully human, he gets us. He understands us from inside our skin and knows from experience that we're each capable of great things, godly things. And no matter what we do, he keeps on inviting us to join in his work, which has become our own. As you enter this Lent, what might you plan to do over the next 40 days so that come Easter, you will more closely reflect the Christ who lives in and through you? And some people want to say, hey, God, how are you letting this happen? Why don't you do something? And God is saying, I did do something.
Yeah, he did.
I sent you. You're supposed to be doing the work.
I was going to say, he is doing something.
He sent us, didn't he?
Yeah, and he runs the wheel of the world.
And we're going to pass out some groceries this Saturday to help with people who need some groceries. So think about that. At 11 o'clock on Saturday, there will be some groceries distributed at our church. Okay, this is the one you're going to read, and I'm going to hold this up because this is a cross.
It says, "My old self has been crucified with Christ. It is no longer who live, but Christ lives in me. So I live in this earthly body, trusting in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me."
Yes. So even though
Wait,
Jesus,
that's not the end.
okay,
I just don't know if
Jesus,
to read this.
I'll help you with that. That's from Galatians chapter 2 and verse 20. That's what when it tells us about the cross and Jesus dying on the cross for us.
As we journey into the resurrection, what in your life needs to be crucified with Christ? What do you need to release to Christ to be able to live with more freedom, more joy, more generosity, and more peace?
We could get rid of being mad at people. We could get rid of being unhappy.
You're mad at someone.
Yes, who?
DT.
And who? Oh, no, I'm not mad at
Well,
him.
he's rude.
No, he's forgiven.
I don't
So,
think he is.
We can forgive people, and we cannot be mad. We have to have forgiveness in our hearts, so people will forgive us when we do something bad.
It's probably not going to happen to me.
Well, we'll work on it, won't we? That'll be our job for Lent, to work on not being angry
That's
with people.
yours,
Okay.
not mine.
You're gonna do something else? You're gonna give up sugar?
No! I would never do that.
We'll think of something.
How
Until
about
then, have a wonderful week. We love you.
being